Hello, I am Taviea Alexander, Senior Supervisor for ISL. Today I'll be doing a sexual harassment in the workplace. We should all be able to live and work in a sexual harassment-free environment. However, there are some who think that they should be free to do whatever they want and whenever. This project gives you an insight on what to do in case you come into contact with an incident like this. Sexual harassment in the workplace is a form of sexual discrimination which negatively affects the working environment, undermines gender equality at work, creates unfair practices in employment and the economy in all countries across the world. We cover topics such as what is sexual harassment, the sexual harassment complaint form, who to report to, and the different forms of sexual harassment. Now we move on to our objectives. And our objectives are, what is sexual harassment? Learning about the different types of sexual harassment, filing a complaint to the relevant authorities through the right procedure, raise an awareness about sexual harassment. Okay, so you might be wondering what is sexual harassment, and it can be defined as the unwelcome sexual advances or requests for sexual favors such as comments, jokes, acts, or other verbal or physical conduct that is of a sexual nature or directed at employees based on their sex. How can sexual harassment happen? Sexual harassment can occur in a variety of circumstances. The victim may be of the opposite sex or the same sex. It could be your employer or even an employee. So point to note too that sexual harassment can happen anywhere. Right? So strategies to stop sexual harassment. Adopt a clear sexual harassment policy. Train employees, train managers and supervisors, because when you train them, they know exactly what is right and what is wrong, basically, what the workplace stands for and what they will not agree with, what you will be charged for. So it is important that you have policies and procedures in place, guidelines for people to follow, because you cannot take it for granted, say, everybody know what to do. You make sure you have the right documents in place so that they cannot say they didn't know. Okay, so if you are being sexually harassed, we have a picture here, the lady saying, help, help. That there's no one here to help you, honey. So this is a form of sexual harassment. Maybe they're alone in the office, maybe the others have gone home already. But whatever the situation is, we should be firm, say no, be clear about it. And of course, we should speak out, because a lot of persons, because of fear, they tend not to speak out, right? Things may be happening to them and they, some persons say, people not going to believe you, people going to laugh at you. So they keep it inside, but we shouldn't be like that. We should speak out. And I have a question here. How can you say no to sexual harassment in the workplace? We looked on just now, we can just say no, be clear, speak out and be firm. But in your own words, how can you say no to sexual harassment, sir?
Well, how can I say no?
Yes.
Well, we should stand firmly and we should be clear on that stance. Yes.
Okay. All right. So here are some ways too that you can speak to your harasser. You say use body language. Look the harasser in the eyes. Speak in a strong and clear voice. It's a facial expression and body language. Project confidence and calm. Even if you do not feel that way, it is important to appear calm, serious, and confident. Do not apologize, do not make excuse, do not ask questions. You do not need to say sorry for how you feel or for what you want. You have to be firm. You do not need to respond to diversion, question, threats, blaming, or guilt tripping. Stay on your own agenda. Stick to your point. Repeat your statement or just leave. Number 5 says you decide when you're done. After you have made your stance, after you have been clear, after you have said what you want to say, just leave. Even if the person is still talking or still trying to touch you, just leave if you are finished saying what you're saying. Don't give that person the time of day or stand up and talk to them, make them feel like, hey, maybe something can go on, just let them know that no means no. All right, there are many different forms of sexual harassment. And we look at quid pro quo here. And this is a favor or advantage granted in return for something. Some supervisors or managers, they will say, if you do this or do that, you get a promotion or you get an opportunity or you get a raise. I mean, who doesn't want a raise? But at the same time, we have to be firm. We have to think, we have to be clear, say, because guess what? More opportunities are out there. So not because of this one situation, you're gonna just lower your standard or, give in to the sexual harasser. No, you have to be clear and stand up for what you believe in. All right, so right now we have a interaction session. All right, so in your own words, what are some sexual harassments? Hello, anyone there? I am not hearing my listeners.
You're not hearing me?
No, I'm hearing you now. Okay, in your own words, what are some sexual harassment?
Are you hearing me, Taviea?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
Okay.
Gone again, because I'm not hearing you.
Oh, you're saying in your own words, what does sexual harassment
What are
means?
some sexual harassments? Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, for me, I believe that some sexual harassments are like a person touching you, like you do not have any consent for this. You did not give any consent for this person touching you,
Right.
or having like sexual conversations, or unwelcoming sexual conversations. That is, and also
Not hearing you again.
text messaging, or some will say sex messaging, and you have like emails that are sexuals. Yeah, so that's what in my own words.
Okay. All right. So my next question is, have you ever witnessed any forms of sexual harassment?
Well, no, I have not, and I hope not to.
Okay. All right. But if you should though witness something, what do you think that you would do? For example, somebody touching somebody inappropriately.
Well, I would basically report it
Okay.
to the necessary persons within the organization.
All right. Very good.
So whether it be my supervisor or the manager, yeah, that's what I would report it. If not, then I will report it to the police.
Okay. All right. All right, so moving on. Examples of quid pro quo is a demanding sexual favors in exchange for a promotion or a raise, as I just said before. Discipline or firing a subordinate who ends a romantic relationship. Changing performance expectation after a subordinate refuses repeated requests for a date. I remember we had looked at quid pro quo, a favor or advantage granted in return for something. All right. So now we have a hostile work environment due to sexual harassment. So this occurs when unwelcome sexual conduct, unreasonable interference within an individual's job, performance, or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive working environment. So due to the sexual harassment, this person possibly feel intimidated, they feel a lot of fear, they're emotionally wrecked, they're physically wrecked, and sometimes it affects their relationships as well. It affects the decisions they make in life because some persons, if they were sexually molested, they tend not to like the opposite sex or the sex that did the act to them. You know, there is some fear there is some hatred. So if anybody has experienced any of this, you know, you should always tell them to seek counseling, get help, because these things can really affect them down the line. And not only, it can even affect you or you perform in the workplace as well, because if you have a boss, a supervisor, and for example, they're making certain advances at you, you want to say no, you know, but due to your job, and there's a fear. So even though you say no, you know, there's a fear upon you. I wonder if he's gonna fire you. So that quality job that you are supposed to give, you cannot give it because you're living in fear. You're living in wonder if, and also we must make sure that we say no, as I said before, and be firm about our decisions. All right, examples of hostile work environment have the offensive conduct, offensive behavior, offensive languages, offensive graphics, dating and relationships. All right, so these are just, for example, behavior that is offensive to another person, or you use certain language, or, you know, we have the cell phone names, persons are sending persons pictures and those. So those things can make a working environment hostile. Verbal examples of sexual harassment. Asking persons questions about their social or sexual life. Making sexual comments about a person's clothing, autonomy, or looks. Repeatedly asking out a person who is not interested. Making kissing sound, howling, or smacking lips. Right, so these are some verbal examples of sexual harassment. We now look at some non-verbal. I said, looking a person up and down, this is the elevator eyes. You know, you just look them up and down. For example, you want to tell them, so them look nice, or, you know, just admiring them, but in a sexual manner. Staring at someone sexually, you know, they have this thing say, you use your eye to undress me. Right? Blocking a person's path. You're in the workplace and the person's trying to pass, you go in front of them, trying to stop them from passing because you want to say something to them or do something to them. The stalking someone, giving personal gifts or bribes. So these are the nonverbal examples of sexual harassment. Sex stereotyping. So harassing a person because that person does not conform to gender stereotyping is sexual harassment. Harassment because someone is performing a job that is usually or was previously performed mostly by persons of a different sex is sex discrimination. You know, for example, the Jamaica Fire Brigade is a male-dominated organization. And more than once, I've heard the male counterpart saying that females should not be there, and you know, and of course we are supposed to do the same job because we're getting the same pay. So I don't have a problem in taking up the big O's. No, I don't. But you know, some females do have a problem, but at the same time, you know, it shouldn't be a discrimination against the female because they're weaker, you know. Well, that's a form of discrimination. All right, so reasons why victims don't speak out. Some of them don't speak out due to fear of losing their job or opportunities or promotions, fear of being attacked, you know, possibly somebody meet you on the road and fight you. The rumor mill, that's you know, rumor breakout into the workplace. So they don't want their name to be all over the place. So, you know, they choose not to talk about the incident. Not being believed, of being in the wrong. Sometimes people blame you. Are your fault why you might look you? Why you do wear that short skirt there? Why you do this? Why you do that? But in spite of that, still, you should speak out against sexual harassment. Rejection from coworkers. Some people will shun you because, for example, my supervisor is putting advances at me and I go and tell the HR department. What if the HR department and the supervisor are best friends? He's gonna shun me, right? So rejection can happen and retaliation. Are you following me so far?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So here we have on the screen a sexual harassment form. This form now is if you or anybody has experienced anything like this, you should give them this form or let them download it, right? You see you have your name, your title, phone number, date, the status, employee, all right? And the department that you work. You should also have the date and time of the incident. And these lines are just to give a brief synopsis of what happened, right? So it is good if you can have a witness, because that would only make your case stronger. And everybody have cell phones. So if somebody is constantly harassing you, of course, you can set them up with a cell phone. Yeah. Do a voice note, do a little video. Make them know that if you don't stop, I'm gonna show this to the supervisor. All right, steps to file a complaint. We just look at the form just now. So steps to file a complaint. So let the harasser know that his or her conduct is unwanted and unwelcome. I remember we said already, you have to be firm about that. Let them know that no means no. All right, go to your supervisor and explain the circumstances. Be sure to take with you documented dates, times, and specific occurrence if you have them. Also report the incident to Human Resources. If the appropriate supervisor is unavailable, or is the offender, then report the incident directly to the Human Resources. Kindly know too that sexual harassment is a crime. So if these channels are not working out for you, of course, go to the police. Where am I? All right, so questions to ask yourself in case of sexual harassment. How many times did the incident occur? Did I make it clear that I am not interested? How long has the harassment been going on? Have others been sexually harassed? Who witnessed the harassment? Points to note: sexual harassment is not your fault. You do not deserve this. You should not keep quiet in spite of who is doing the harassment. This is an offense and you can report it. More opportunities are out there, so don't make because of one job or one promotion, you give in to sexual harassment. Oh God, somebody come to me. All right, just give me a minute, I'll take a break right here. Okay, and we pick up where we stop to unscramble these words. All right, so we have LEXAUS. Are you there?
That is, yes, man. That is LEX. That looks like sexual. Yeah.
Yes, it
Sexual.
is. All right.
All right.
And the next one, PORKWACE.
That is workplace.
Right, that's correct. Very good. The third one now, THREMASSEN.
That looks like harassment.
Correct. You're doing good, man. The next one, STEINS.
That is incident.
No. The fourth one, it seems like you're looking at the fifth one. The fifth one is incident.
Sorry, that is.
Yeah, we're doing the fourth one, STEINS.
Oh, witness. That is witness.
Witness. Yeah. All right, thank you very much. That was well done. All right, so we have reached the end of the presentation, and I hope that you have learned something, or I hope that you are reminded of something that you already know. We talk about the form, we talk about what is sexual harassment, we talk about what to do in case there is an incident, who to report to, and remember that it is a crime. Remember that you should stand firm in your beliefs. Let no bribes or no gifts differ you from your morals, from your belief. And remember that sexual harassment, it is wrong. It is an offense. And the supervisor or whosoever is doing it can be charged. Also, sexual harassment is not only male harassing female, but female do harass male as well. But some males are afraid to talk out, due to fear of what people might say. We have this thing in Jamaica we call man chichi and mama man. While their friends maybe might say boost them up and say, so the woman have money, talk to the woman, man, So some males might be afraid to talk out. But whatever it is, however the sexual harassment comes, whether it's be verbal or non-verbal, whether it be by text, whether it be person inviting you out or touching you inappropriately, you know what you will stand for and what you will not stand for. So be firm about it. Don't giggle and say, no man, no man. If you are saying no, mean no, because you don't want to send, I'm saying one thing, but sending a different signal. Because if you are not firm, the person will not take you serious. And they will just think that you're no mean yes, because some persons do think that way. There are sometimes female or male, according to how they dress in the workplace too. it can cause men or women to look at them in certain manner. But you know, we should all have that level of self-control that no matter what, persons should be able to dress how they want to dress, and I am not affected by it because of my self-control. Look away. That is very important. Look away. You see a young lady or a young man in something tight, you don't have to be staring at them and making them feel uncomfortable, because when you do that, you start think all kind of things at the same time. So you have to be careful in the workplace, and follow all the procedures, follow all the policies. You know, you have sexual harassment policies, code of conduct, or your dress, you know, or you should do your hair. All of these in the workplace, we should follow them. And if there are any reasons why you need to go to your supervisor and report to anybody, don't be afraid. Speak out. Speak out. This in my presentation. Are there any questions?
No, there are no questions.
Okay, seeing that there are no questions, I will now end my presentation. Thank you for being a wonderful audience. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay. So where did the video go? Oh, stop.